Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, hey guys doing? Gruggs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, Legionnaires, and any new recruits. As always, just want to say thank you very much for checking out my channel and my videos. All right, got something awesome for you all today. The Lengren Chief in Sleipner Steel. We're going to put it to the test. In fact, I'm so excited, we're at the secondary outpost. What are you all carrying today, troops? What is your EDC? Well, today, new knife day, baby. This is the Fintiso Falcon in 14C 28N steel. What are you all carrying? Veterans and active military bringing you another killer combat knife to take out into the field. I hope you enjoy the video, and I just want to say thank you very much for your service. Quick specs, let's go over it. Once again, this is the Lengren Chief. Overall length is 12.6 inch. Blade length is 7.48 inch. Blade steel is a Sleipner Steel. Blade design is a drop point. Blade grind is a mid-saber. Blade finish is satin. Blade hardness is 62 HRC. Blade thickness is a 6 millimeter. Handle length is 5.12 inch. Handle material is a tan G10. Weight is 16.58 ounces, and it features a full tang, multiple lanyard holes, 2 millimeter thick, two-tone Kydex sheath, and a nylon belt loop. There she is, troops. One big, badass drop point fighting blade right there, man. That is some impressive badassery. I love the grinds. I love the swedges. I love the holes. I love the sharpening choil. I love everything about this combat blade. The Chief is serious, man. So take a look at that awesome mid-saber ground blade. Fantastic. It's got a fuller. It's got multiple lanyard holes for lashing. It's got a generous sharpening choil and a finger choil, which I hope to use. It's pretty thick, 6 millimeters. There you go. Rounded off the spine, so I doubt we will be working with any kind of ferro rod today, but we'll do some scraping of wood. Let's see if the jimping is able to handle that. Okay, some small logos right here. Let's check out the scales. Now, I know some of you have purchased both and swapped out the scales. In fact, I have one Legionnaire who sent me a picture that I posted in my community page. Go take a look at that, man. The swap of the scales, it's a whole different animal on the knife. The tang is rounded off. It's full tang goodness. It protrudes just slightly, and it is very comfortable in the hand no matter how I'm holding it. You need a nice big blade to go out hunting. Reverse position, troops. If you need a nice big blade out hunting, man, I don't think this will disappoint at all. All right, just beautifully done. This has a recessed lanyard hole, which I didn't know at first. It has a little bit of jimping in the rear. Again, all rounded off very nicely. Let's just take a quick look at the other side right here. Just fantastic, man. The fit and finish on this is impeccable. Look at that. Okay, you've got plenty of room if you've got some big sized hands to hold this sucker, man. Just an incredible looking beast right here. Just incredible. Now, let's take a look at the sheath. Okay, Kydex sheath, very sturdy. It looks like it has some carbon fiber, but I think this is Kydex. It still looks really good, man. Okay, take a look how nice and thick that is. If I'm not mistaken, the spec said 2 millimeters. It's got a nylon loop. You know what? I kind of wish this was a little bit better. Maybe put a black, for something so beautiful like this, a black leather loop instead with better snaps. This is a little bit on the flimsy side. I have to call a spade. However, it can be removed, and you could add something third party over here, depending on, where you could find the stores that sell third-party items. Let's pop the knife in. It snaps in pretty good. You don't need the snaps there to hold it, but it could be used, okay? Not a problem whatsoever. It looks good. It feels good. How does it perform? We're gonna find out. This is a new spot for me, troops, and I'm just gonna do a little panoramic view for you all. Look how nice this is. I love this spot, a lot less foot traffic. However, we are going to test for the first time a knife in this particular spot. I might need a little bit getting used to it, so just bear with me. Now let's get started. I got a really decent size log over here. This thing is not a joke, so we're gonna put this knife to the test, okay? I know a lot of you are expecting to see you know, some serious performance out of this knife, and so am I. So I got a decent size log. It might take a while to chop through, but let's do it. I've got gloves on to show you know, soldiers, operators, first responders, law enforcement, that if you have something tactical, you should be able to fit the handle with gloves, no problem. But as it stands, I'm gonna do it without gloves. Enough talking, let's get started, okay? I'm gonna let the blade do the work, because there's gonna be you know, a lot of chopping, so I don't wanna get tired out. Just gonna let the blade do the work. I'm gonna let the blade do the job. This is a log that I found on the floor, and I carried it about, I don't know, a football field to this spot. I wanted to make sure that whatever knife I tested here first was gonna be using this log to do the testing. I have tested many Lengren knives in Sleipner Steel, and they've always done a fantastic job. So far, we're chipping away. And this is definitely a hard piece of wood, too. Okay, look at that. Now let me just say, handle is very comfortable. As you can see, I'm not even using the lanyard. First of all, it's a little too small, but I'm not even using the lanyard. The bird beak area down here, perfect. The swell, perfect. The texturing and the contouring is just working out real well with the swings. Again, I'm going to use every part of the blade, but as you can see, the discoloration in the steel from chopping the wood, the sweet spot is right there. Okay, that's a good start. Let's switch it up. There's all kinds of chunks just flying all over the place. Some subscribers have said that this also could be used as a survival knife. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if the spine was a little bit more sharper. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me whatsoever. And as it stands, I would hate to use a ferro rod because the ferro rod does, minor damage to the steel. But, I'd rather have a scraper with a ferro rod. Look at those slices right there, man. Awesome. All right, you can see the discoloration now in the wood. We're starting to get towards the center. All right. The steel is looking good, man. The blade is looking good. I don't see any chips. Still sharp. You can see it's just digging in, man. Nice. The handle feels comfortable. No shock yet whatsoever. Just doing a fine job, man. Just doing a fine job. Using the rear of the blade now. And I'm just really concentrating right now. I'm just not used to all this beautiful peace and quiet while I am filming. Okay, there is absolutely no foot traffic whatsoever from where my original spot is. It's fantastic, Just doing a couple of different angles. Not bad. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know. I think it's making some quick work out of this so far. So now this is a perfect spot, where you could utilize your knife, your saw, your axe, whatever. Because I can't cut down trees. This is a public park. It's a county park, and you're not allowed to touch your trees. However, whatever's on the floor is fair game. So these are one of these situations where you could pick up all the little branches you want. You want an ongoing fire all night long? You're going to need something like this to keep that fire going. So a good test in my opinion. By doing the chopping here, we test to see the integrity of the blade, how the secondary bevel holds up. if we have any chips, any rolls, you know, how the hardness of the blade fares, okay? And it's a perfect example. And this is, you know, this is hard right here, man. This is not soft stuff. The handle, the hardware seems to be okay, and there's nothing coming loose, even though I know it's early. We haven't done any batoning, but it seems to be, you know, in place. And I forgot to mention that the, you know, the screws do come out, so you can remove the handles, which subscribers have already done. All right, as you can see, we're almost there. It's been raining here the past 3 days. Past couple days have been nice, including today. And you know, unfortunately, a lot of this wood, actually all of the wood is wet, you know, so. Okay, I'm glad I'm taking my time, or else I would be so tired right now. But you know, I gotta say, the handle size is perfect, no fatigue. You know, it just feels good. Oh, my lanyard came loose. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna take it out of the equation. Try a different angle now again. That's doing a real good job, man. Instead of chopping straight down, I'm going at a, you know, a 45-degree angle, approximately. And it, you know, it's doing good. Nice. So one thing I noticed, each hit that I'm executing, you know, the handle stays straight in the hand. It doesn't rock side to side. So, and I'm sure it has something to do with the edge and how sharp it is, because it's definitely biting in, right? So that helps out. Oh, that was a nice little chunk right there, man. Okay, we are so close. I just want to make sure that I get that money shot and that the log doesn't fall off. So, whoa! Well, Murphy's Law. There you go, man. Look at the size of that log, okay? Damn fine, damn fine. Let's move on. I got a pretty substantial size log that I just chopped. We're gonna do some batoning. I don't have all my equipment here, so I gotta make do with what I've got. Let's hope it works out, okay? It broke. The knife broke the log. Okay, I want you to see that it is starting to split. I'm gonna keep on trying to hit it with this and see how far I get here. Maybe reposition this a bit. Okay, I know some of you are concerned about that thin tip, so let's hit it. Nice. That's excellent, man. All right, well, you know what? The baton seems to be working. Let's just keep going, man. Okay, nice split. Okay, you got your quarters over here. All right, let me just save this for the end of the video, the quarters. Let's make some kindling out of this. All right, I'll pick that up in a second. I better pick it up right now. I did have an opportunity to get another baton. Hopefully this won't fall apart, but let's keep on going with making the kindling. Perfect. Okay, edge retention. That edge is looking good. Oh, by the way, forgot to tell you, I'm using the gloves. All right, so I just noticed it. Look at that. Look at the thin curls. That's pretty good, man. I'm going to process these pieces for feather sticks and whatever else. Okay, just give me a second. Real quick, I just want to show everyone. I got a couple of different sizes over here of kindling that I processed, and then I got the longer pieces for kindling, feather sticks, what have you. And you know, I've been, instead of doing some, you know, the cross batoning, it's so nice and front heavy. And with that beautiful handle, you could just chop the size that you want, you know, for a firebox stove, your favorite stove, small campfire, large campfire. And at the end of the video, you'll see the larger pieces of wood that this knife was able to tackle. Now, I want to do some horizontal batoning with a nice big piece of wood. So let's give that a go. Let's do this. Got a nice seasoned log over here. All right, it's just wet from the rain, but other than that, it's one full log. Let's see what some horizontal batoning can do. I got to tell you, man, right now at this campsite, this is a great camp knife. I mean, this is a great camp knife. I have my axe, I have my saw. Haven't used it, haven't needed to, other than to cut that huge piece of wood over there. So let's get to it. I'm going to utilize the whole blade. Wow, look at that. It split the whole thing. It split the whole thing in one go. That's pretty cool. So at least you know that this is a seasoned piece of wood here. It's a shitty piece, but you know what? It will do. It will do. Do it again. Well, that's cool. So I got some quarters. Let me do another one. All right, well, it did break apart. However, if you're going to be using this to burn wood at a campsite, you know, it did the job, man. I got to say, I'm impressed. Hold on. I'm going to choke up by the finger choil. Took off the bark. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Okay, just a quick example of V-notch batoning. I made sure that this was a nice hard piece. Piece of wood. I was hitting it on one of the stumps over here, make sure it didn't fall apart like my other baton did. Definitely a nice hard piece. Okay, you can see it's making the nice little wedges. I know my video is going to be long, but I want to be comprehensive with this knife, because it was pretty popular, you know, with the Legion Premier and even before I received the knife. So, you know, I got to put my money where my mouth is, right? Doing a good job, doing a good job. So if you needed to make a notch, you know, and you needed to baton it a little bit, we're looking good. All right, you can see nice and deep in there. Edge looks good. All right, it's doing a good job. I'm gonna see if I can cross baton all the way through while you guys are in the camera right here. Edge is looking fine. Edge is looking fine. Let's make some feather sticks now and some individual curls. I got two feather sticks that I processed the chopped logs. All right, but one I want to just make, you know, curls. And I've been here before, and I made fires, testing out other knives, and I just love to, you know, make a nice big pile of these individual curls, man. Sometimes I get frustrated, you know, doing the feather sticks. And boy, does it work. I know there's a sharpening choil, but it acts as a finger choil for doing some choking up. The jimping does not hurt whatsoever, man. It's great. All right, excellent. I think that is a adequate example for everybody over here. Let's make a feather stick, yeah? Okay. It's real nice, man. Camp knife for sure, man. The choking up is just, you know, really working out very well, boy, let me tell you. Look at those nice fine curls right there. Awesome. That is just awesome. Sleipner Steel, baby. One of my favorite steels. I know a lot of the Italian knife makers use Sleipner, and now you've got a great Chinese manufacturer, you know, making a damn fine blade in some damn fine steel, boy, let me tell you. Okay, just an example, man. I mean, look at that. Definitely capable. Definitely capable. Hopefully I have a nice hard piece of wood here. I want to cut this in two. So I'll do a little bit of cross batoning here. And then we will test out the tip. Okay. Let's see that edge. Looks good. Now, let me pick up those pieces. Okay, that did the cross baton right there. And even though this broke, it still did the job that I needed to do, which is fine. Now I want to test this tip. I'm going to do the broken one first. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Tip looks good. Let's do it again. Okay, nice thick area. Good. One more time. Nice. Okay, so that did the trick over here. Was able to make some kindling. I mean, I guess if I wanted to go, you know, even smaller pieces. The tip is doing it without breaking. I mean, this is not something that is, you know, difficult to do with a tip. I think it's a fair test. I think it's a fair test, man. I mean, it did a great job. Now, let's make a divot, okay? Using the point to pivot, get this hole bigger. Sure, and cut myself. Okay, some of it is bark, but that's wood under there, you know? And it's going in pretty deep. So now let's do this other side. Say right about there is where that hole was in the beginning. Now I'm pressing down on the top over here, just drilling down. Okay. Do this side one more time. Okay, so I did both sides. All right. This is a little bit softer because it's wet, but that's definitely hard, right? So just want to make sure everybody knows that. And I got a nice, pretty deep divot in here. Again, using the point to pivot, making the hole a little bit bigger. Not the prettiest, but the point is to show you that the tip is effective, okay? All right, that was awesome, okay? Now, listen, the spine, there's no luck with the spine, man, okay? So, here, I've got this piece of wood with bark. All right, I mean, it's just not happening, okay? It is too rounded off, man, to do anything. I even tried the choil. I mean, it's just barely scraping, you know? So you would have to use the knife, you know, the secondary bevel to scrape the wood if you wanted to get some kind of fluff. But no way is this doing it. I don't even think that swedge area is going to do it. Very little. Very little. Okay, so before I go to the rope and the paracord over here, I want to just show some people, you know, and I've had this for a long time. This is a ferro rod scraper I won in a contest, man. So, you know, you may want to carry something like this in your pack. So you could probably find this on Etsy, but I won this in a contest on YouTube, believe it or not. It also has a nice ferro rod with the handle, similar to this. And they sell them all over Etsy. But, you know, I'm just thinking that if you have a camp knife like this, you may want to take something similar. This way, number one, you don't have to ruin the spine of your knife. And you could just use this to kill two birds with one stone. You know what I mean? It's making more curls than fluffs. However, my point is that, you know, sometimes you're going to need a secondary tool. But just wanted people to know that this is available. It's a nice sharp, it's got 4 sharp 90-degree spines on here into a nice square, and it sparks up a ferro rod big time, okay? But this knife, even over here, it's rounded off. Here, let me try this area. No, very little, if any. I mean, you'll probably be here 15-20 minutes to get what you want. But no way am I even going to attempt a ferro rod with this knife. It's not a deal breaker though, man, because this is a great camp knife. Great. I mean, even the way I'm holding it right now just feels fantastic. I have felt no hot spots. I have felt no shock. I mean, done right, done right. So other than that, you know, around the camp over here, if I set up a lean-to tent or whatever, you have guidelines or paracord or whatever it is that you need cut, it's going to do it, okay? There's a nice thick piece of rope. If you want to do some push cuts over here with the rope, you got it. All right, even make tinder with this. And I got some smaller rope over here. I don't want to waste it all. But again, if you need to cut a little bit smaller natural rope, doable. And once again, let's do the push cuts here. Nice and clean. Okay. Good to go, man. This is a hell of a camp knife, boy. Let me tell you, hell of a camp knife. All right, troops, just a word of caution. If you look carefully, okay, you'll see the screw holders in there. Well, these came loose, all right? And I had one dangling and one fell on the floor. Luckily, I was able to find it. I have the red Loctite, so I put some Loctite in here, but I just want to give a warning to those who have purchased this and might be carrying it on their hip like I did, that these screws did come loose. So to Lengren, to the reps over there, you should double check these screws and make sure that they're on there tight. There you have it, troops, the Lengren Chief. This knife dominated the campsite, man. If I had some food, I'd show you, you know, how well this would cut up food. I have no doubt this would cut up vegetables, fruits, meats, game. I think whatever you could throw at it, this knife will handle it. The tip came out perfect. You know, it did the job. So rest assured, everybody who thinks that the tip is thin, it did a fine job. I mean, you can see in front of you, it chopped, it batoned, it quartered, it halved, long feather sticks, short kindling, long kindling, you know, it just did a great job, man. And if you notice, it's still sharp because there's a huge pile of feather sticks and individual curls that off camera I just started whittling away so I could make a nice big pile. Other than that, man, there's just 2 little hiccups, which, you know, they're not deal breakers at all for me. You just got to watch out on that sheath. You know, I suggest as soon as you get one of these knives, unscrew all those screws, put some Loctite, put them all back, and make sure that they're in there good for you guys. And another thing is the spine. The spine is not sharp, okay? There's actually nowhere on this knife that there is anything that's too sharp to spark a ferro rod, so be aware of that. All right, hopefully you'll take a look on Etsy or something for those tools, those scrapers and the big ferro rods with the handles. Those are worth it, man, let me tell you. And you'll save yourself scuffing up your knife, you know what I mean? All right, troops, legionnaires, and new recruits, thank you very much for watching this, man. Really appreciate it. I also want to thank the Lengren rep. Awesome job. Bravo on this knife. One of the best out there, in my opinion. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day. Hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military. Once they get out of the service, they do face a lot of challenges. And unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. At the end of this video, there will be slides. Pause on those slides. Call those phone numbers. Surf those websites. There are people out there who love you. Seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, legionnaires, any new recruits, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below. Make this knife go viral, man, because this is worth it to anybody out there who loves the avid outdoors, man. All right, thanks again. At the ready, troops. Hold the line. Take care. Legionnaires!